Welcome to part 3 of this playthrough. The stages from now on are very hard, and SP and stamina damage will be your main problem now. Courtesy of my Discord mod Hitotsu, I'm able to show you the gameplay of Marchen Star by using Hitotsu's account. Although not very likely, if you will reach Yagatte pre-refresh, save your natural members for that because Marchen Star doesn't debuff off attribute members. This account only has about 4 to 5 plays left, so it goes all out, and use natural members. The song damages you early and heals you back later. Use a guard strategy to reduce early damage. The heal trick node will only proc when hit by a voltage type, so bring at least one voltage type with you. The skill ACs are not a problem because you only need around 1/3 skill rate to pass them, and default skill rate is about 1/3. But the critical AC might be a problem, so bring a skill type with you or reroll to get a good crit RNG, although I recommend the former. This tower requires a lot of natural members, and this is the time to use your bottles. Anyway, Yagatte. The most common method is to use SP side strategy for the first early SP AC and the final AC that requires 128k SP voltage. You can use SP bombers to reach 128k SP in one shot. It helps you score better. However, your SP bomber needs to be strong enough, and the most reliable one for now is Fast Umi. In my main account, I one-shot the final AC with max limit break initial Kanan, max limit break SR Kotori, and limit break 0 fast Emma. This one run gave me 8 million voltage, which is equal to 2 normal tries, and it saved me a lot of SP fillers. For my second try, I don't have Fast Umi anymore, so I have to rely on SP fillers for the final AC. And you might ask, why am I using Fast Nico here? It's because the Smile song later, Margaret, only has 40% of its original damage per note, and that song has tons of way to heal you. You can allocate your strong Smile defenders to another song, like this one, and you just need a mediocre Smile defender for that song, Margaret. You can also choose to use SP natural members in your main strategy, so you don't need an SP side strategy, but be careful of the second and fourth AC that debuffs non-voltage type appeal by 50%. Stage 24, Like It Love It. Believe it or not, this stage isn't that hard to clear with the help of SP fillers. It's nigh impossible to one-shot this, but two-shotting this is relatively simple compared to other stages. Just make sure your SP fillers allow you to activate SP twice for the 142k SP AC and bring some skill type for the RNG ACs and you'll be fine. This stage will take 3 shots at most. This song doesn't debuff off attribute cards, instead it debuffs voltage type and guard type. Make sure to bring a cleanser, which I forget right here. Stage 25, Analog Heart. Brutal stamina damage. This stage is all about having good defenders. I skipped the first round because I made a lot of mistakes. Anyway, in my mini account I have to use a strong guard healer strategy just to survive. The damage is so ridiculous in this stage that I have to switch to guard strategy often so I don't fail. I usually switch when the guard skill rate up trick node appears. In my main account, I have strong healers like Fast Ruby, who carried me, I highly recommend that you use the playstyle in my main account, not mini account, because the playstyle in mini account is kinda hard to execute. It also doesn't give as much voltage as the one in main account. The reason why I use the playstyle in mini account is because I literally have to use it to survive. In my main account, I buffed my stamina very much, so I didn't bother to switch to God type strategy for the damage nodes. This is the gameplay from my main account to show you how good a healer like Fast Ruby helps. It's also a recording on stream, so you'll hear me talking. And I'm already at yellow. And I'm back. And I'm back down again. And I'm back again. Yeah, Fast Ruby. Fast Ruby power. Wait, I should activate it because I have 2 SP. Yeah, SP feelers. Yeah, look at how fast my SP charges. I'm close. I'm close. Got it. Fast power. 3 fast in the middle. Fast power. Let's go. Stage 26, Margaret. First off, this song heals you based on how many God type there is in your team. Second, the third AC, which is the 106k SP AC, it's a long AC, and if you can one-shot this AC, there will be a long period where you'll stop taking damage. What this means is you can actually choose to not use a defender in your main strategy. If you can one-shot the SP AC using 3 scorers, bring enough God type, and raise your team stamina enough, you get to use a 3 scorer main strategy while still maintain your stamina at green. You only need to switch to God type strategy to clear the skill AC. Also bring a cleanser because the song debuffs voltage type and skill type. In the second try, I can't reach 106k SP, so I need an SP filler to clear the AC in 2 shots. That also means I won't have the period of not taking damage when AC clears, so I need a defender. The defender doesn't need to be very strong, just average defender will do. Also, since I'm using a defender, that means I can use low stamina God type fillers as I'm not relying solely on the song to heal me anymore. In my third try, it's pretty much the same thing, except I used 2 SP types since I ran out of SP fillers. In my 4th try, it is a Suicide Run. The first AC is clearable with any team, so Suicide Runs have an advantage here. Stage 27, Firebird. This is where I start running out of members. Good thing is this song debuffs non-voltage and guard type, which is great since voltage and guard type are most likely your scorers and defender. Run a typical 2 voltage scorer, 1 guard defender main strategy, plus a guard type strategy for the skilled ACs. My last runs for Firebirds are a mess since I ran out of cards. I don't even have enough voltage scorers and good defenders anymore. In the end, I have to start using 2 defenders just to survive. I cleared from Yagatte to Firebird pre-refresh, and post-refresh will be for the last 3 stages. Stage 28, Aion no Uta. This stage is relatively simple compared to what you'll face in the next 2 stages. This song has ridiculous damage, but luckily, all you need to do is to fill your sideline with all skill type members, as there's one trick note that heals you based on how many skill type you use in your team. Also switch to skill strategy for 2 of the skill ACs and you'll be fine. For the next 3 runs, it's pretty much the same. It's quite surprising that we get such a straightforward stage this late in the DLP. Stage 29, Say Goodbye Namida. High stamina damage without healing trick notes, and you'll have to face deadly SPACs when the song debuffs guard and skill type SP charge rate, which is non-cleansable. There's an early SPAC, you need an SP side strategy or use an SP filler in your main strategy. There's also a 120k SPAC that'll mostly take 2 shots to clear. This song has you stay out of your main strategy so often just to get enough SP fill that it's almost impossible to maintain your stamina at green. If possible, try clearing the 120k SPAC in one go. If so, you can at least maintain your stamina at yellow, or else you have to settle with red stamina as survival is a huge problem. In my second try, I made this team. Don't follow this because this is a sloppy run. I don't know why I allowed this run to happen, maybe because I'm so brain fried from completing DLP, but anyway, don't follow this, I'm just gonna show you the next run instead. So in this run, I also one-shot the 120k SPAC. What I did is I used 3 high technique active members. Flower Monkey is SP Bomber, which helped me further in the SPAC. Shizuku's SP charge rate up is enough to clear the early SPAC. In my fourth try, finally I have to rely on SP side strategy for 120k SP AC. The last run I used this team. Finally, this stage is over, and we are on to the final stage. Stage 30, Tokimeki Runners Chapter 17. This stage has a 116k SPAC that can be 2-shot, but there's also a 120k SPAC that cannot be 2-shot. You need to somehow one-shot 120k SPAC or it'll hurt a lot. SP bombers like Fast Umi is gonna help a lot, but you don't have a lot of strong ones. Feel free to use your bottle or take as many tries as you want in this stage because this is the final stage for now and for the next round of BLP. A guard strategy is for the skill ACs. Waterland Yo can be used in this stage just by having negative 5% guard demerit. I'm just going to show you this run where I can one-shot 120k SPAC and another run where I cannot. This stage is just brutal because even with strong cards like Fast Kanata and Honoka, I can't even reach 120k SP. In the last run, when I reached 120k SP, I only got 5 million voltage, so without reaching it, it's gonna be even worse, only about 3 million per play. The rest of the run is just me throwing every single of my member I have at the stage, and they are really boring to watch. This stage is just too brutal, but the thing is you can take as many tries as you want. It's just a test of patience as you slowly chip it away. Also note that AC field damage cannot be modified by guard strategy, so no point using it to block AC field damage. It also won't be increased by voltage demerit, so you should just take the damage in your main strategy. That's all for this playthrough. I hope this playthrough helps you this DLP. Do like, subscribe, and pledge your support for more All Stars content.